through to the final, the 8 drivers in this round were all geared up to do their best for a coveted place in the final. Well, fasten your seatbelts and wait for takeoff as we join commentators Roger McCleary and Hendrik Verwoerd for 20 minutes of all-action driving.
This is the third round of the Top Sport Master Driver Series, and as before, 8 of South Africa's top motorsportsmen, a mixture of rallyists like Nick de Waal, of racing drivers like Willie Hepburn there from the Transvaal, and also racing motorcyclists like Jim Redmond. There's Cassie could see top rallyist in South Africa in his Nissan, Leon Marais, making a name for himself in saloon car racing. There's Jim Redmond, the 6 times world motorcycle champion, getting back into a bit of frivolous competition. Mike White, a champion in his own right, not only in single-seaters, but in saloons as well. Lapis Labuskaghni, a rally driver who goes very well in big Nissans, and Bernie Tolanis, a former single-seater champion in South Africa. As before, the stages were split into a rally stage, as you see the start here, into an auto test and also into a 10-lap race to decide the 2 drivers who are going to go forward to the final round in Pretoria. Mike White, a very good time at 2:14.9. That was good enough to get him into 8th position. First time he's been out on a rally stage, unsighted for him. He was given 1 lap to practice. Jim Redmond just a little bit quicker, 1 of a second, going very well. His first time in a competition car for something like 20 odd years. The car you're looking at the moment is Nick de Waal, but we had other very good times indeed. Leon Marais was in there. He's a road racer, but he likes to get the feel of a car on the dirt. And this circuit, just over 2 kilometers long, it's shaped very much like the Aldo Scribanti circuit itself, but of course it's on a dirt circuit, especially made for this Master Driver Series. Leon Marais, there's his time going very well, an improvement on his practice time at 2:12.1. But the action was still to come ahead of them. Some of the rallyists who are expected to do well, they're going to put in respectable times. Lapis Labuskaghni getting the hang of things. Of course, rally drivers are used to driving through unsighted courses. They've never been round these courses, and they go very quickly. He's getting the hang of it. This is Nick de Waal, up-and-coming driver from the Cape, who goes so well in his Volkswagen Passat Synchro and shapes in the South African Rally Championship. Bernie Tolanis doing very well at 2:10.6 at his first attempt at rally. A lot different to them. It's a front-wheel drive, was new to them. Willie Hepburn, very serious about doing well in this competition, normally used to that big Ford Animal, and he did a very good time. And Cassie could see now starting to show what the rallyists could do. Cassie could see a very prominent rallyist from Middelburg out there in the Eastern Transvaal. Sitting alongside Nick de Waal is Teddy Knutzer, the motoring editor of Report newspaper, and you can see the best time to beat Willie Hepburn, who got a 2:09.8. Nick de Waal has got to beat Cassie could see his time of 2 minutes 6,6. And he looks like doing as he goes into the final 2 corners and heads towards Andrew Gray and the checkered flag. And there it is, a 2:05.8, getting his 10 points for winning this rally stage, and very pleased with himself as well. Very relaxed amongst the drivers until they get into the competition when the adrenaline really pumps. So de Waal and Cassie could see the rallyist at the top of the points table. There's Willie Hepburn doing very well. Then we go down to the auto test. You can see the seriousness on the competitors' faces. It's 25 meters to the first pylon. Get it sideways. This is Lapis Labuskaghni. Got to straddle that line, then he's got to reverse it, or pushing their clutches right to the floor to ensure they go into reverse. Then it's across the park, 50 meters, to reverse it into another parking area, and you've got to straddle the lines again, a little bit slow there. Now you've got to head for the center pylon. It's a 360-degree turn. Some of the drivers go wider, others pull on the handbrake. You see that back wheel start to lock, and then they head for the garage, and they've got to spin it. As they enter the door of the garage, they spin it around. We're wasting a little bit of time there. That's going to be a slow time. You can't waste time. You've got to come out in one spin, and then you spin it in across the starting area, and you get your final time. There he is, 47 seconds. I'm going to try it again.
Lapis Labuskaghni, 47 secondes. Het jy probleme gehad?
Ja, ek het 'n bietjie daar in die garage gesukkel, jy weet. Ek het die handbrake te vroeg getrek. Ons nie lekker uitgekom daar nie. Ons het weer 3 rad gebruik om uit te kom.
Is dit die eerste keer dat jy so iets doen?
Nee, wat ons het daarom in die jonger dae 'n bietjie met die karre so gespeel, jy weet. Nie so gereeld op keer nie, maar meer op grond.
And there's concentration. Willie Hepburn did well in the rallying. Now he wants to do well in this auto test. He wants to be in the final that's going to take place in May in Pretoria. Look around that corner. This little man used to handling a big beast of a motor car, that big V8 Ford, that Sabat Sierra, the one they call Animal. But Willie showing that he really has got the hang of any motor car. Talk of him wanting to set up the outright South African land speed record sometime in the future. Here comes the centre pylon doing a very respectable time at the stage. Does he use his handbrake? No, he just pours it on. Used to doing that. This is the 16-valve Corolla Avanti. Very capable motor car, 65 kilowatts, going through the front wheels there. As Willie spins at a beautiful handbrake turn, all taking a little bit of time, and reverses into the finishing area. Nice one there, Willie.
Yeah, it was a tough one. I got a bit excited. Thanks, Roger.
Like the second round, this is all held down near the Elder Scribanti circuit in Port Elizabeth down the Eastern Cape. The first round, of course, held in the Cane Fields and the Kings Park area around about Durban. Leon Marais, used to driving a car like this. He races a 1300cc Corolla to very good effect in a Group N National Championship racing. Quick time at this stage. Beautifully placed there. He reverses it in. Wasting no time. There's a quick time. Used to handling a lot of power. Driving very accurately as well. A little bit of a hitch there as he stopped. Too much handbrake. Now he's got to spin it as he goes into the garage. Nicely done. The power comes on. Power, of course, coming through the front wheels. And this is where you make a lot of time. A very good time as he reverses into the finishing area. Nice run, Leon.
Yes, thank you.
That's the fastest so far.
What time is it, do you know?
42.3.
Worked out quite well.
All he worried about is putting his top sport cap on, and look at the concentration. Cassie could see, tight-lipped as off he goes. He takes this very serious, as he does his national championship rally. A real competitor's Cassie, just missing that line. Getting the hang. He only allowed about 5 minutes to practice in these motor cars. One handbrake turn, on go the new Firestone tyres, and then you're into this auto test. Gymkhana, as we know it. It's a real art to be able to do this, wasting no time. Handles a big 6-cylinder Skyline, those screaming sixes in National Championship Rally. Very good time, Cassie. He's going to be one of the quickest of all. He's got to head for that finishing area, quick spin, and it's all over for him. Very good time indeed.
Cassie, applaus, die vinnigste tyd tot dusver.
Wel, Hendrik, ek het probeer en ek het dit pragtig reg gekry.
Jy het omtrent 9 sekondes beter op jou oefentyd vanoggend.
Ja, maar hoe sukkel jy nie 'n navigator sonder jou het nie. Jy weet, so ag, maar in elk geval was heel aangenaam, dit was lekker geweest. En ek het dit nie oordoen nie. En ek is bly ek het 'n goeie tyd opgesit.
So he's missing his navigator. Now, see a man not too good in the rallying side. He wasn't happy with the loose surface. It's like a blast off into space. Look at that for concentration. Power on, used to tuning these cars. He spends his life tuning them. He spends his life racing them as well. Very quick Mike White, he's a Toyota Works driver. And he wants to make up now for his position in the rally stage. Oh, that's not going to make him any good time now. He's almost cutting his losses now, and I think he's just given up. He just says, I'm just going to go for it now. Over the pylon. That's 10 seconds onto his time. It's going to put him right out of the running in this Gymkhana. And he's taking a very wide line there. And he really was psyched in before he started this. They're all jolly good friends until they put to sea, and then you see the concentration. Spins it around, and a wipeout, total wipeout, as he goes into the finishing area. Well, that was total, Mike, total.
Total mess.
That's a pity, and all that planning that went into it.
Well, yeah, things do go wrong at the time.
Well, there's still a racing ahead of him, of course, around the Elder Scribanti circuit. But it's the two rallyists, almost as expected, going through at the top of the table. Willie Hepburn, watch him, just 1 point behind the Val.
Cassie, ek kon sê jy is die voorloper op die punteleer op die oomblik, maar jy het die 6de wegspringposisie op die rooster. Hoe gaan jy die wedren benader?
Hendrik, daar is nie veel uitweg nie. Ek op hierdie stadium kan ek nie lag nie. Ek's bietjie gespanne. Ek is so 'n bietjie af op tyd op die vinnigste ronde. Ek kan net so 'n bietjie lê en wag tot daar miskien 'n fout gebeur en dan verbyglips, want my standaardkarre by mekaar verby te gaan is heel onwaarskynlik. Maar ek gaan net my bes te probeer en kyk waar kan ek verbeter met die foute wat ek begaan het, moontlik.
Het jy foute begaan op die oefenronde?
Ja, definitief. As jy tussen die manne deurloop, dan weet jy waar om te rem en waar om nie om te rem nie. En vir ons is dit niets in die opsig dat dit 'n voorwielaangedrewe voertuig is.
Willie, you were really trying in practice.
You can believe it, Roger. I was looking for the maximum adhesion on the car, so I was having a full go.
Did you find it?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Because you had everybody just craning their necks to see your time and also whether you were going to make it at all.
I didn't think I'd made it because I made quite a few mistakes, but it appeared to work out all right.
Okay, now you've got an outside chance of pulling this off and going through to the final. How do you want to play this race?
Well, basically, I'll try and be a lot smoother in the race, and if possible, try and finish as high up as I can so that I can get into the final.
Yeah. Now, Willie, the whole series, your impressions of that?
I think it's a super series, and I'd like to see more of it because it's very enjoyable, very relaxing. There's no super tension like on race days and things like that, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, as you could see, really depends on some of the others to make mistakes. Willie Hepburn a little bit anxious to get underway. On the front row with him, there was Leon Marais, and we're in Nick de Waal's car, going away from the starting line. It's down to Ford Corner, which is a corner that has got a quick entrance, but it tightens on you very quickly. Ahead of him, he's got Mike White there, he's got Leon Marais, and Willie Hepburn. That's the white car going into the corner. There's Hepburn. There's Leon Marais, there's Mike White, and the next car is de Waal, then it's Tolanis, Labuschagne, and then it's Kasikutsi bringing up there. He really depends, or his chances depend on the successes of the other drivers and what placings they're making, because they're certainly trying hard. Nothing between those cars. Back into de Waal's car. Ahead of him, he's got Mike White, used to this form of racing. This is new to Nick de Waal, putting up a very good performance, but you can see some of the racing drivers. Willie Hepburn, used to the circuit as they go through Hanger. Now they're on the way down to Hunt's Corner. Be down to second gear. Very heavy braking here. You take a wide line going in. Try and cut the man off on the way out there. It's White using all the road. A little bit of that guttering on the outside. Getting that car sideways. Leon Marais, Mike White, Nick de Waal, Bernie Tolanis, Labuschagne, and Kasikutsi. Round the Delta Dip. Over the tunnel and up towards BP. There's another one that tightens on you. Get the car set up and then just power it through there with it pulling on its front wheel, through its front wheels. It's the Corolla RSI. They're pushing out about 95 horses through those front wheels, a little more through the engine. Here's Hepburn, familiar Hepburn, hanging onto that steering wheel. Very good in standard saloon cars. Come past the Opel Tower down the straight towards, and here they're starting to spread out to sort out positions. Willie Hepburn in the front, Leon Marais, Mike White is in there, then it's Nick de Waal, Bernie Tolanis, Labuschagne, and Kasikutsi. Order staying almost the same. It's a 10-lap race, lots of action when they were doing their practice laps to decide on the grid positions. Back in de Waal's car, there's Mike White as they go through the S's, down through the dip here and up to Hanger. They're coming through the second of the S's, through the right-handed Hanger. It's just foot in the hook as they come through there, and then that short straight about 200 meters onto the brakes. Now watch those cars dip down as they come heavy onto the anchors. Down a second, and there's de Waal going on the inside of White. It's going to be a difficult one. Mike White's used to this kind of racing, and he wants to do well in this race. Did a very credible job in the rally stages, but he's up against a lot of competition, and of course, as you saw, he blew it in the auto test. So he really wants to try hard here and get back in the top points there. And with de Waal again, that leading trio is getting away. And he's got it. There's Mike White coming through on his right-hand side, and de Waal having to give way. A few stones on the windscreen just to let him know that things are rough out there, and Mike White using all the road, as you can see. Down the long straight now. 5-speed gearbox, be doing speeds of about 160, 170 kilometers an hour as they come toward us. Willie Hepburn making sure that his car stays nice and wide ahead of Leon Marais. Putting the pressure on now, Mike White. He's trying to push on the inside. They're just waiting for Marais to go too wide. Hepburn in the front, used to these front-wheel drive cars. He's normally in a TX3 Ford Laser, and normally banging it out there with Ben Morgenrud in the little Mazda EGR. Sideways goes Lappy, sideways goes Kasikutsi, enjoying his first taste of very hard standard saloon car racing. Doesn't allow much for mistakes as they go through Hanger. Still Hepburn, still Leon Marais, takes his racing very serious, and a very competent driver as well. Mike White now trying to get the inside. Nick de Waal a little further back this time. He's losing a bit of ground. There's Mike White, tries to take over from his teammate Leon Marais. They both drive for the Toyota Works team. There's a spectacular Hepburn getting it sideways. Normally used to about 500 horsepower from that big 5-litre Mustang Ford, but still pedaling this motor car onto very good effect. 16-valve, 1600cc 5-speed Corolla Conquest RSI. Mike White in the red car, it's the back one. Marais, here's Willie Hepburn. This is what they do in Group N racing. You just fill all the road. He tries to come past on the left-hand side. You close it off. Right, we're in with Willie Hepburn in the front as we go past the pits. Pulling into fourth gear. 160 plus as he approaches forward corner. We're going back to third now. Give the brakes just a touch as he goes in there. Keep it nice and tight to keep the others out. Floors it in third. As the corner tightens on him, he goes out to the left-hand side. Now he'll be back to second. Back into second gear in the first S there. Then he'll be turning up to third as he goes through the second of the S's. Here he comes out through the second of the S's. Floors. Oh, and he's missed third. And this is where, and there's Leon Marais going wide. He takes the fell. Mike White passes Willie, battling with that gear change. Marais goes to the front, and he desperately needs these points to go through to the final. And Mike White, now there's Willie from inside his motor car, battling with the gear change as he goes through the hangar. You see Lappies go past, Cassie could see goes past, and Willie's not happy. Really not happy to all. He's now lying in 7th position. Ahead of him he sees Coetzee and Lappies Labuschagne. And in these final laps, he's got to get ahead of them if he wants those points. He was just that 1 point behind the others going into from the top of the points table. And Mike White now taking that inside berth. He's pushing Leon Marais. He's going to close the door on him. It's neck and neck, these two cars together, both teammates. White on the right-hand side has got it. Lovely shot of them at full stretch, peddling those 1600s to very good effect. And White's gone to the front. White's gone to the front. This is bad news for Leon Marais. As Mike White goes to the left-hander, they don't lift one little bit as they go through here, select their line, get all the weight on the left-hand side of the car through hanging. They're on their way down to Hans Hairpin. Classic drivers, White, a Ford Formula 2000 champion overseas, and used to drive in the times and beat him, in fact, Nigel Mansell and the Nelson PKs of the world, one of South Africa's top drivers. Mike White in the front. Leon Marais behind him as they go through the Delta dip. He's got to keep a tight line there. He's got to keep that car of his filling the road. Being a teammate is forgotten as they come towards us. And there's Willie Hepburn. He's made his way up to 5th already. He's really trying. You can see him in the far distance there coming up on Bernie Tolanas and Nick de Waal. It's White in the front as they make their way to the line. Here he comes. He's going to win it. And a very happy man comes past the line, gets a flag from Des Andrew Gray. Leon Marais next, and here they come. Nick de Waal, Bernie Tolanas, and Willie Hepburn right in the pack. So the results, as you see, Mike White, the winner of that one, ahead of Marais, Nick de Waal, the ralliest, and then Bernie Tolanas. And Cassie could see benefiting from the results that the others had in that race. So Cassie and Nick de Waal, in fact, with their 20 and 19 points, go through to the final, and that was only decided because Nick de Waal was 7 seconds faster in the rally test than Leon Marais. And that's what decided the whole thing, and they really relaxed afterwards. It was war going on out there in the race, but you can see it's now relaxed. And this is just before one of the major rallies in South Africa where there's going to be a lot more tension. So there he is, Cassie could see now, starting to smile, and Leon Marais trying to give him some of his own medicine. Nick de Waal just behind him, and Willie Hepburn. And Willie really just blowing it with that missed gear change. And of course, one of the characters of South African motorsport, Cassie could see very happy of winning this stage. And he's going to be a hard man to beat as he joins the other finalists from left to right: Jeff Mortimer, Steve Wyndham, Serge Damsou, Nick de Waal, and Colin Hastie. The next round is going to be held down at Lichtenburg in the Western Transvaal. And then the real needle match, the final of the Top Sport Master Driver Series, is at the Swartkop circuit in Pretoria in May. We look forward to that one.